Ronald Bird with another edition of Style Speaks. I have a very special guest here with me today. He told me to call him. I was going to call him by his first, middle, and last name, but he said Mr. Bouvier. So we have Mr. Bouvier here. How you doing, Mr. Bouvier?
I am wonderful, wonderful.
All right, good to have you here on a Saturday afternoon.
It's good to be here.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about, I know a little bit of your history, but tell everybody where you're from.
I am originally from Richmond, Virginia, born and raised. I've been in the DMV area for about 15, 16 years now.
Okay, you can kind of consider yourself a Washingtonian. After like 5 years now, people kind of consider you. Like, you, come on now, you don't get to do that.
It's so funny because I feel like I grew up here. So I feel like when I came here, I became me.
Okay.
So,
okay, that's kind of deep. We're not going to get that.
It's too early.
No, right, we're not going to get that deep on a Saturday afternoon. It's quite all right. Well, we're definitely glad you're here, and you say so you're going to be here a while? You plan on staying? You going to transition? You going to move someplace else? Do you plan on?
I'm going to be open to opportunities wherever they may be for me. I'm not going to limit myself to this area. I have mad love for this area, but if opportunity takes me somewhere else, I'm out.
You're open to go? Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, one of the reasons why I decided to bring you on, and I really found that you were like an interesting guy. I know you've done a lot of hosting and had been involved in some shows and projects and things of that nature. But you're, quite frankly, you're a talented singer and songwriter. And we're gonna get a little taste of that. Hopefully, we'll get a little taste of that a little later on. But because he think I'm playing with him. But what before we get into like some of those things you kind of used to do, why singer-songwriter? What made you get into that genre, or how has that become sort of your focus of what you really want to get into right now?
Well, I've been singing all my life. Like most people, I've been singing since I was a child. But I feel like now is the time for me to actually step out there and do it, because I feel like I have developed myself into being someone who can actually tackle my real true talent. We can get distracted by a lot of things that we can do well, but there's always that one thing that we were born to do. And I feel like this is what I was born to do.
Okay. Born to sing?
Born to sing.
Wasn't that a play or a movie or something?
Play, movie, song.
Born to sing, y'all. Okay, so what style? Tell the people, who don't know you, who may want to follow you later on. What style, what genre of music are you best at?
Well, I'm glad you put best. I have gone back and forth between what I want to present to people, because it's very important for me to package myself the way I want people to see me and accept me. I am a church boy at heart. I am born and raised in the church, but
okay.
But
be careful now. People are gonna be watching this.
I fit into a lot of different genres.
Okay.
I'm most happy singing gospel.
Okay.
But that's not what, I can do gospel at home.
Okay.
I can call on the Lord at home. But right now, I'm just trying to find out where I want to fit. I like pop music. Pop music is fun. I want to have fun. I love R&B music. R&B music is about love, and I love being in love. So you're going to get some of everything from me, because I feel like I wouldn't be doing myself justice by trying to limit myself to one genre.
Okay, because you're a singer.
Because I'm a singer, and I should be able to just cross over and do whatever.
That was pretty good. Good response there.
Still kind of deep.
All right, you're waking up. I see you waking up from when you first walked up in here. But I told you I was going to clown you. You know I'm going to clown you. I ain't done with you yet. Okay, well, moving, and that's a very good response. And I don't know if everybody can say that who sings. I'm definitely not a singer. I like to talk, but I think I talk well. But at the same time, I don't know if I can talk in all facets of journalism and be able to make speeches and all these kind of things. So it's interesting that you say as a singer you want to be able to do, or you think you do all of them well, but there's a focus, and that's interesting to me too, because I think a lot of people can do a lot of things well, but they don't necessarily hone in on any one thing and focus and just be an expert at that. They just have their hands in like 5,000 different things. I think that's a young thing now, but so that's interesting that you say that. But and putting that aside for a second, this is about style and fashion and what you do. A lot of the genres and even the music and the songwriting, you go to events, you may sing in front of people. Some of the shows that you've done. you're in front of people, what develops or how important is your sense of style? I'm switching gears a little bit. Your sense of style. I see, you know, you got the gold, and you got the scarf going on today, and you know, very chic, very urban, very ethnic looking. What gives you your sense of style, and how would you categorize it?
I would say that my style is very eclectic.
Okay.
I feel like I can get away with most things that most people can't.
Okay.
And style is so important to me because it's all about that package. Just like my music is important, it's the package that I want to present to people. So what I'm wearing is very, very important, and it's very well thought out. So it's just, you know, I try to give people an element of surprise. I try to be authentic in what I'm wearing. So a lot of people wear stuff, they wear things because they see other people wearing it.
Right.
And I don't like to do that. I like to wear what I feel like wearing, and I like to make you like it.
So that's important to you, making, given that your makeup, your presentation seems to be very important to you, and what people's response to you seems to be very important to you. But where does that come from? Where does that? Okay, let's kind of get more into Damon the person, Damon the man, and where does that instinct come from? Did you have any influences growing up? How particular were you about, you know, in grade school, or was your mom really focused on it? Was your dad, or why did you kind of develop into this very eclectic, stylish person you are today?
I've never been asked that question.
That's why I do what I do. I love
It's a
that
really good question, but you know,
Thank you.
I don't know. You know, I have an uncle who I feel like he was very, very stylish, and I used to always look up to him, and whatever he was wearing, I wanted to be like him.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a really funny story. I was about 13 years old, and my uncle had these loafers. They were the flyest thing I had ever seen in my life. And so my mom bought me a pair because I had to have them. But I was 13, and I wore them to school, and everybody laughed at me. And I never, ever wore them. And I didn't understand, like, y'all don't like these? These are fly.
Right.
My uncle wear these. But
hence that response from other people, how you needed that.
I didn't understand why they didn't like them, but we were all 12, 13 years old. It wasn't something that someone my age should have been wearing.
Right. Okay.
So
in retrospect, you think you know that now?
I know.
Yeah.
You know, I now know that they were like lame, and I was the cool kid.
right. Okay. So would you say you were always kind of were you the offbeat kid, the artsy kid, or the kid that were you different from everybody else? Did you kind of realize that at a young age?
I did realize I was different, but I didn't want to stand out as being different.
Right.
I was different at home.
Okay.
You know, so whatever.
You hadn't owned it yet.
I didn't own it for a very, very long time. And out in public, I was just like everybody else.
Okay.
Who wants to stand out as a teenager?
Right. Well, I think it's different. I mean, 20 years ago, I am kind of telling on myself, but you know, 20, 25 years ago, or you know, in the 80s or 90s or even in the 70s, it was quite different than the young people today being teenagers and just being who they are.
Right.
I mean, it's so much more socially acceptable to just be who you. I think teenagers are walking out and, you know, dressed in all crazy, whatever the colors and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just more socially acceptable today to be more individualistic than it was decades ago. You really had to follow a certain guideline, or look, you know, it was really not as fashionable to be different as it is today. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So today, you know, people are just like doing whatever, and it's cool. You know, it's cool.
I love it.
Yeah, right.
I love people that like to just push the envelope and step outside the box, especially when it comes to fashion.
Okay.
You shouldn't want to look like anybody else when you're putting yourself together. You know?
Okay. Well, I mean, I think you do a good job at that. I've seen a lot of photographs. I mean, he definitely ain't shy in front of the camera. Because if you go to his Facebook page, he got like I think you got about 5,000, 6,000 photos up there. But
I love take pictures.
The camera loves him, and he loves to take pictures, and he does, and you do a lot of photo shoots and things like that. So. And hence the whole conversation and how it kind of started with me wanting to talk to you, because I saw the individualistic side of you, and I can see the originality, and I can, you know, you're not really one to follow. You're probably one who kind of even set trends, and I kind of consider myself to be that way a long time ago. But I think that's a very interesting characteristic and bringing that and kind of bringing that full circle in your field of art and the singing and the venues that you go to. I think it just kind of marries together. It just kind of works. Right? It's in sync, so it works for you. So it's really kind of a job, you know. It's like you say you put a lot of thought. You told everybody you put a lot of thought process into what you wear every day and how you're going to look and how people perceive you. So that's very important to you.
Being your own stylist is a job. It is a job.
Okay. Well, tell everybody. I mean, we talked a little bit about where your style sense came from and all of that, and your singing, and we talked a little bit earlier before we got on camera about some of the projects that I don't know if you want to say specifically on what you used to do, but what are you working towards now? How can we find you and what can we look for, Mr. Bouvier, in the future, upcoming months and weeks and all that kind of stuff?
Well,
right, you may get a fan or two from this.
Hey, well,
you know, once it go on YouTube, I don't know.
You know, I might
you
blow
know
up your
what I'm
page.
saying? You know.
Right now, I am focusing on my music.
Okay.
I'm trying to finish up my debut EP, album, whatever money can get me. That's how many songs you're gonna get.
Okay.
So I'm trying to really develop that and put that out. My debut single is Love War, which is available on iTunes, CD Baby, Google Play, Reverb Nation. Hit me up on Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
Because they have a chart, and I've been watching myself go up and down the chart.
Okay.
So Reverb Nation, that's Mr. Bouvier. I just completed my video for Love War. That'll be coming out in a couple of weeks. It was really, really fun to write and direct my own music video. I never thought that was something that I would be doing, but I get this Beyonce spirit in me sometimes.
Okay.
And I just want to do everything.
All right. Well, that's a whole nother segment. We're not going to talk about that.
That's gonna be
Beyonce
part
story.
2 of my interview.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So he already scheduled a part 2.
already scheduled
It's like,
part 2.
Ronald, we're gonna do a part 2 once the video come out. I'm coming back on here.
I mean, because you can't talk about music, great things, and fashion, and not talk about. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah, we gotta have us part 2 because my next guest is coming up in a bit though.
No,
So
but I'm working on finishing up the EP. I'm also working on something that I can't really put out there yet, but it's gonna be great. I'm super, super excited about that. Just keep following me. And
So how you got a Twitter? You got all. Tell everybody all your addresses and all that before we go.
It's Mr. Bouvier on Facebook. On Twitter, it's Mr. Bouvier 08. If you Google Mr. Bouvier, everything will come up. All of them will
All
come
your
up.
stuff.
I'm on YouTube.
You got a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube. Mr. Bouvier is Bouvier. You know Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy?
I know her. I know her.
I know her too.
Okay, well look, man, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. You really were someone that I really had anticipated. A lot of what I do is really based on the fascination I have with people in the conversation and asking those questions that people just don't get answered every day.
Right.
And I really like to hear that because growing up myself, people always say, well, Ron, I like the way you dress, I like the way you can take me shopping and do what you do, blah, blah, blah. But no one really wanted to find out just how it came to be or, just kind of the deep stuff. I guess I wanted to have a conversation about it. Let's talk about it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate your time today.
Thank you,
Mr. Bouvier, and much success to you. And I want to say thank you and thank you all, everybody. This has been another edition of Style Speaks, and we'll see you next time.